was Adam, also known as Hippo. The girl was known as Buttercup.
Call me Daddy before you hang up, please, just once.
My dad's about dead.
Their mother is a peculiar woman named Ethel.
When do you think World War III is going to happen?
It's hard to say, dear.
You think it might be in my lifetime?
I suppose it could.
Okay, I need a gun.
As homeschooled students, neither Buttercup nor Hippo ever had much interaction outside of one another.
That toy is an outside toy.
It's not a toy, it's a gun.
Outside. There comes a time in every boy's life when he wakes up in a puddle of goo.
Goo?
Goo. Very sticky, I might add.
War is a game. Don't be fooled by simulation theory, however.
True warrior.
If you want to stay in here with me? I'm a big man now. I'm 19. You have to legally respect me. It says so in the Constitution.
Everybody respects you. We all respect you.
You are a firebird.
They've arrived. Quick, go get to the nearest closet and I'll go get my crossbow.
No. The crossbow will never work, you know that. You need the most powerful thing in the world.
My God finger. Shut your mouth, I said! Why do you look so sad? You should be happy.
A star dies every millisecond, but only once in a millennium does a deity rise up with a potent mega weapon attached to his own hips.
I hope you find a man just like your brother.
Let us bear humble witness.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Hippo. Happy birthday to you.
Hello, everyone. My name is Heather Hurt. Hi, everyone. My name is Heather Hurt with the NRW, where nerds rule the world, and I am here with Lilla Kizlinger. Sorry, first interview of the day. I'm sorry.
No, those are the vibes. Sorry.
Who plays Buttercup, as well as Kimball Farley, who plays Hippo, the main character and the co-writer, as well as Mark Rapaport, who is the co-writer and director of the independent upcoming film Hippo, which is very exciting and a fascinating film. I think it's the best term I can use for it. The film it has been on the circuit, right? The indie circuit. How is it feeling that it's coming up, that it's a wider release? Mark, I'll start with you. How are you feeling?
Sure, yeah. We've been blessed that we've been in, I think, around 15 film festivals around the world, starting with Fantasia. We've made it all the way to Sydney, Australia. We've made it to Uruguay. We've made it to Spain. And so I think we're really excited to give it its American, starting national release commercially, starting November 8th. And yeah, it kind of feels like it's one of those things where, like, as artists, I think all of us in this group are like, creatively, we've probably already moved on to the next thing, but you have to put you have to dig in and do that one final round when you release a movie. And, it's, especially as a small film and indie artists, we really have to be our own best advocates for it. And here we are, just like, it feels like we're making it again, the movie. And
You're breaking up. I'm sorry.
I'm out the gate again, and I lost you.
Gotcha. Okay. Thank you so much. Kimball, what about you? This is kind of your baby. Like, you are, in so many ways, this movie. How are you feeling now that it's going a little bit more national?
I am really excited. I think it's very wild because, with the movie making process, obviously this is just how it goes. Sometimes there's a quicker turnaround, but like, this is a movie it's finally coming out like 3 years after we shot it, which is wild because, you film it and then you edit it and that goes on for a year and then you do the festival circuit for another year and then like the next year it comes out. And so it's wild to see the journey of it, but it's ultimately really exciting. It's a dark, weird character, and it's hopefully nothing like my real self, but I cherish Hippo and I cherish the movie, and he's he's a very dark, evil young man with, you know, misconstrued thoughts about the world, but he it's like he's like old Yeller, you know, you're like you love the dog, you know, but so it's really exciting that it's finally coming out, and I think it's, you know, I would imagine, I think the world is getting more excited about weird, bizarre movies that take things to a grand, fantastical place that you wouldn't normally think of, and so I hope it resonates with people and people talk about it with their friends, because it's definitely wild and weird, that's for sure.
Absolutely. And Lilla, I want to ask you kind of the same question, but change it a little bit. Are you excited for everyone to meet Buttercup, she's so fragile and small, but she's also such a huge character? Are you excited for more people to see her?
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm really, really excited about to meet with the whole crew again, because I met with Kimball and Mark in these 3 years after we shot the movie, but with a lot of people from the crew not. And I'm really, really looking forward to be there and see it. And it's unbelievable that much people, that much audience will see it. So yeah, it's amazing.
So glad. Buttercup is a fun character. Kimball, it seems like we've lost Mark. Crossing fingers he can come back.
Yeah.
So I'll just direct this at you right now. You said quite a bit. This movie is dark and crazy and traumatic and dysfunctional. Where did this come from? Where did this concept come from?
You know, it's a wild, you know, you got to go back, I guess, quite a bit. Me and Mark were both like technically raised very hyper religious, and you know, like I don't consider myself really religious anymore. I don't find anything wrong with it, but I just feel like I'm like, you know, whatever's out there, whatever happens next, like hopefully there's something next. Like I would love if there's like not nothing, but but the reason I bring that up is in hyper religious communities, you often have a lot of isolation, and you really just kind of have your nuclear family, and a lot of heavy religions kind of teach you, okay, like you have to be with your family, and those are great qualities. Like it's good to have a good family life, but like if you're too stuck with your family, it can lead to, you know, if you're just on top of each other in that way, almost in the COVID kind of way, you can kind of become more and more insane, and the aspects of your mom or your dad that maybe you don't like, in Hippo's sense, maybe kind of bleed into the kids, and then, you know, the apple really doesn't fall far from the tree, as Charlie XCX says. But yeah,
I heard everything, by the way. Sorry, I had to turn my camera off.
No, you're good. We're happy that you're here, no matter what. So I actually want to follow up with you, Mark, on something that Kimball just said. Following COVID, and I know that y'all's movie came out technically during it. We are seeing more and more movies about isolation and about that familial, just like that breakage that happens. Did any of that impact you while y'all were filming, while y'all were doing the PR, or was this strictly like just personal background?
You know, it's funny. It's a really good question, because I think that COVID obviously made us all more isolated and made us all, you know, filmmakers. We had to film things that maybe were more creatively single location and smaller. But to be honest, like I think and Kimball, I think, agrees, we've always been drawn to the chamber drama and the intimate study. Every film I'd produced prior as a producer were generally or at least surrounding one location. I think that maybe COVID enhanced that's craft, you know, like The Whale came out during COVID also. Aronofsky shooting that all like in one location, which I don't think he could have done. I don't think he could have done it more than one location during COVID. But no, I think we've just fallen in love with that style regardless. But yeah, like we came up as a team during COVID. So our first short was also a single location thriller called Andronicus. But again, that said, like, you know, you find that the horrors or the, you know, comedies of life really exist within the four walls of family life, and you don't have to go much further. And so, you know, I think that's where it primarily comes from, is just exploring, like Kimball said, the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. We're not blaming our parents. It's not even that. We're all sort of fucked up, and raising kids is hard. I'm probably gonna have a hard time. It's always hard. And so it's just funny to think of, the twists and turns that family life can take, and it's so cinematic, and there's so much you can mine for, just within your own family. Ari Aster is one filmmaker who knows that and who I look up to as well.
Awesome. Yes. And talking about some of that isolation, Lilla, I want to kind of direct it to you. Buttercup she's technically an outsider who was brought into it. What did you feel? What were your thoughts of Buttercup when you first read her, when she was first brought to you?
It was a really, really good, experience for me to play a role like Buttercup, because I always played like girls in movies who are like really rough, really saying everything out, and like this kind of bad girls. And now I saw this religious girl who is like quiet, but also like have weird thoughts, but doesn't like this really powerful, loud, blah blah girl. So I was really, really curious to build up this character with Mark. Yeah, and I think it's a really, really special and well-made character with a lot of layers, different layers, and I think it's really, really can be interesting for the audience to see how specific, like I think all the characters in the movie, even like everybody, like I think the doctor has also like his side, like his layers on it. So yeah, I think it's really good also when you like making in a small set, like in one house of film, like to getting closer to the actors and the actings and the story.
I think also Lilla's character, like as the immigrant, I think, and Lilla, tell me if you agree, like you sort of shed light on how crazy Americans are. Like Americans can be a little crazy. And I think, because I wrote it from perspective as an American, and part of it's a critique on that as well, that Lilla's character is like sort of the most normal one. And you might think she's the lead, you might think, oh, she's going to be the weirdest one because she's from Hungary, but actually she's the only one with a brain on her shoulders that works. And that's intentional, really. And we used to have a subtitle to the movie called Hippo, or the Spectacular Detonation of an American Nuclear Family, when we were trying to be like Stanley Kubrick or whatever. But so that's the idea, is like a family explodes from within, and it's sort of who's like the last person standing. It's going to be the immigrant. It's going to be the outsider. And of course, it's all delivered as a comedy, but that is a message we want to leave people with. That perseverance and coming from behind often goes a long way. And Lilla captured that beautifully.
Yes, and it was you did a wonderful job. Buttercup was she became that underdog that you were rooting for the entire time, but you were also kind of concerned about her mental state the entire time, and you're like, let's talk about Hippo. Who was he when y'all were writing him, and did he kind of change, adapt as you were portraying him?
It's interesting. Yeah, like he definitely grew from the page, and to be honest, I don't even really know. Oh, okay. Well, I mean, like and this is gonna sound like a little pretentious, but we were drawn to this like Greek legend Hippolytus, about this like really evil anti-hero who loves war and hunting, and we were like, what if you took that and you just made it Hippo, and you just put him in America in the 1990s and see what happens. And
we'll play on elephant too.
Yeah, a little bit of a play on Elephant with directed by Gus Van Sant, and and so you're looking at these people, and so I think definitely like mental illness was a huge thing going into it. I think like me and Mark both have a degree of mental illness. I think we were like,
Thank you.
yeah,
Yeah,
I think
Lilla as well.
like, all of us, and we were like, let's just put that on the page and let's see what happens. And I think it did come from that upbringing, the religious upbringing, but like as the pages went on, like me and Mark have this way of writing where it's like he looks at things as the big picture, the story as a director and like as the conductor of the orchestra, and I'm mainly looking at things from the actor standpoint and the character. And so we have this fun way of writing where it's like, for me it's like another acting exercise where he'll ask questions like, do you think your character would do this? And like you almost get a chance to play your character before you're even filming. And I think it's like an exciting way, another form of acting for me, really, writing is. And so it was fun to see him grow and put him in situations like the Darwin dinner table scene. How would he react to this outsider coming in? And he's like so opposed to all human life that's not his family. And so then it was interesting then to go film it and see how things change and go to the editing room. And it was fun. He really is like our fucked up child, but it's
it's a little piece of both of us, for sure.
Yeah. It's the worst parts of both of us.
Yeah.
Not someone you necessarily want to strive to be, right?
Yeah, not at all.
Exactly.
I want to thank you guys so much for your time. The movie was a lot of fun. It was an experience, if anything. It was definitely an experience. Hippo releases in select theaters on November 8th. Thank you guys so much for your time, and yay, I'm excited for the release. Thank you.
Thank
guys.
you, Heather. Thank you so much.
Have a good one.
You too.
Have a great
Bye.
day.